So if you look at R&D spend as a percentage of GDP, we're only like 0.7%. But we cannot expect government to be doing all.
You cannot choose where to focus if you don't have the analytics, because they help identify where the big lever points are, what are the underpinning factors, and then you can take that combination and then bring management attention to that. So it's as fundamental as that.
We exactly know every week what do we project, why did we get what we got, at what cost, was it above or below our projection, why it happened, what it happened, and what went wrong, right? So that is a weekly process.
So the importance of analytics for us is it is our bread and butter.
And over last 60, 70 years, right, societies have transformed and developed. But often it has come in the cost of local communities. They either got displaced, replaced, corporatized. But we have a different vision for India.
Now, academics, our charter is to utilize data, marry them with economic, psychological, marketing theories of how people behave, and generate insights in an unbiased way.
We are celebrating our 75th year of independence. I'm sure all the flights or any transportation you've taken have reminded you of that. And there's quite a lot of achievements we have of note after 75 years. But I think to become the global leader that we can be, we have to start focusing much more on research and development, right? Fundamental research and development beyond just what we've been doing so far. And the government has really worked on a lot of these setups. There are lots of policy initiatives to promote R&D and innovation. There is Make in India, and then there is to promote local manufacturing and innovation. There's the creation of a national research fund. There's honoring of researchers through Rashtriya Vigyan Puraskar. So there's a lot of things that the government is doing, but if you look at overall spending, we're still way short. Okay, so if you look at R&D spend as a percentage of GDP, we're only like 0.7%. But we cannot expect government to be doing all. Right? They can help us and seed us, push us there, but we need to start industry and other players to start pitching it. I think business analytics is the place where we can illustrate how this can happen. And that's essentially what we have here. And we have a great set of panelists who can talk about what is going on here. Right? So that's essentially my bit. So let me start off by throwing a full toss. Okay? So this is the obvious question to ask, which is to the panelists is, how has business analytics played a role in your industry in the first place?
So the first set of things that we looked at ONDC was actually the operational metrics. So because we're starting an unbundled way of doing commerce, a network way of doing commerce, so different parties are on different applications. So is this interoperability actually working? And so what is the combination of orders flowing through between various pairs of participants and looking at the fill rates, looking at the timing of delivery. And so tracking the operational metrics was sort of the first set of data that we looked at. As the network has grown, so we opened to the public last year, and now we're clocking about 2 lakh orders a day. So now we're looking at which segments in which cities, and how do we grow a particular segment or a particular city or a particular combination. So that's the new set of things we're looking at. But you cannot choose where to focus if you don't have the analytics, because they help identify where the big lever points are, what are the underpinning factors, and then you can take that combination and then bring management attention to that. So it's as fundamental as that.
I just want to build on what Shireesh said, right? That what needs to be fixed, right? So for that, we start from what needs to flow through our data systems, right? So a part of business analytics is how will I measure performance if I don't have the right data flowing in through my metrics, through my engineering systems. So we start from there. Every project starts with that this is the data which needs to flow. This is how we will measure our performance. But then as part of the growth lever, right? So whatever roadmaps we prepare for a year, right? It always starts with, is it worth doing it, right? So we start with, okay, what does it mean? How much additional business it will bring to us at what cost? And that is when the decisions are made, features are launched and analyzed. Just an anecdote, for example, one of our most successful programs, which is Swiggy One, where we offer free deliveries. We exactly know every week, what do we project? Why did we get what we got? At what cost? Was it above or below our projection? Why it happened, what it happened, and what went wrong, right? So that is a weekly process. We know, okay, these are the areas where we can take bets because we are confident of our GTMs, go-to-market strategies. But there are areas where it doesn't work. Every week we are not meeting. So we know that our operations are not working as well as we thought, or our projections are not working with only the data which came up to us. So then we go and fix our GTM there.
Thanks. Swati? Yeah, same question.
Sure. So I represent EXL. So EXL provides analytics services to different companies. So the importance of analytics for us is it is our bread and butter. So we would have approached like hundreds of companies over the course of this year just to grow our business. And I'm very glad to say that almost everyone decided to come on a call with us. It is quite unbelievable, but I have the number like 130 meetings. We had selected that, okay, with these 130 companies, we'll proactively reach out and do meetings. And all 130 of them accepted, and we actually went for meetings. And this is personally myself I'm talking about, that which the meetings that I led. So that shows the importance of analytics that everybody's paying. And then analytics also, as Ishu also pointed out, again, broadly we divide into three spectrum. One is putting the data infra ready, which is having the proper data marts, data warehouse built, so that all of the data is put together and the downstream analysis is done effectively once we have the single source of truth. So that is the data part. Then in terms of the downstream analysis, this is about helping the decision makers take quick decisions through reports, visualization, business intelligence, etc. that come along. And then there is advanced analytics, where there are predictive models or prescriptive models. So all of these, depending on the stage of the company, the companies basically want to adopt at least one of the areas of analytics and move forward.
So what about you, Karthik, from Jumbotail?
50% of our population is less than 25 years of age, over 600 million people. This Gen Z, they want a wider variety of products that suits their ambitious lifestyle. They want digital integration in their shopping experiences. They want higher convenience, which are increasingly offered by big box retail and quick commerce. But if you look at the traditional Kirana ecosystem, who's driving and who are currently the economic engines of our country, 95% of the current market is being served by them, but they have these counter stores, they face stockouts, they don't have robust supply chains, they don't have access to credit. And what is at stake is the lives of these 13 million Kirana stores. 13 million is more than population of many, many countries across the world. And over last 60, 70 years, right, societies have transformed and developed. But often it has come in the cost of local communities. They either got displaced, replaced, corporatized. But we have a different vision for India. In our vision, development need not displace. It can empower and transform. And we are leading India's Kirana transformation. We are serving over 300,000 Kirana stores today, and we are providing them with a wide access of products so that they can keep their stocks intact in their shelves. We can't transform this entire Kirana store ecosystem without AI and data. And we can become that $10 trillion economy without losing this population.
Thank you, Karthik, for throwing the baton to me and emphasizing the role of analytics. So I won't harp on that piece, but where I'll come in is, where do academics come in, right? So we have access to a lot of data, and Shireesh over here, Ishu, Swati, and Karthik talked about what they do with the data in their own firms, for instance. Now, academics, our charter is to utilize data, marry them with economic, psychological, marketing theories of how people behave, and generate insights in an unbiased way. And what do I mean by unbiased? My job is not to cater to a Swiggy or cater to Jumbotail or cater to EXL. My job is to cater to the economy at large. My job is to cater to the individual consumers. Now, what that means is I could work with them, generate insights. These insights could be at a very micro level about saying what works, what does not work. But then firms are already doing that. I take it upon me to say that our job as academics is to go one step further and play towards transforming lives. So, for example, Swiggy empowers people, it generates livelihood for a lot of people who otherwise may not have jobs. There can be some concerns about does it contribute to the carbon footprint because there is a lot more traffic on the road. Now, yes, that is the case, but a conversation around that has to be traded off against the convenience that it provides to consumers like you and me. That requires a systematic study of what we are doing as consumers, how we are benefiting from Swiggy, and the flip side, which is the costs associated with it. Again, bringing it back to Jumbotail, when we talk about empowering people over here, yes, Jumbotail is empowering Kirana stores, but then there is a need to understand, are there any unintended consequences of the policies that Jumbotail has? Or is Jumbotail able to reach out to the minority group in our community? Is Jumbotail able to empower women more than men? Is Jumbotail reaching out to the backward classes? All of these are policy issues which are important to understand. We can do it only through data. Now, as an academic, I generate zero data, right? I don't have any data, but we bank on partnerships with companies where they generate data. We can work with them to answer these big picture questions, to understand what practices are sustainable and how can we make our lives better. And when I say our, it is not academics or industry, it is all of you.